All right, so in this lesson, we're going to be looking at exponents. Our first practice problem is which expression is equivalent to a cubed b squared c raised to the fourth power. So remember, if you forget the rule, when you're raising to the fourth power, that means you're taking everything that's inside and you're multiplying it to itself 4 times. So it's like a to the third b squared c times a to the third b squared c times a to the third b squared c times a to the third b squared c. So notice I have it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So now we're going to say, okay, how many a's does that give me? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12. How many b's do I have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many c's do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because there's just one c. So c to the fourth. Okay? The rule is, if you remember the rule is when you have something raised to a power and you raise that to another power, these exponents are going to get multiplied together. Okay, but again, if you forget the rule, you can always do what I did and rewrite it all out. So 3 times 4 gives me my 12, 2 times 4 gives me my 8, and 1 times 4 gives me my 4. So 12, 8, and 4, my correct answer is C. Let's look at number 2. So number 2, let's try using the rule on number 2. So again, I can see that I have r to the fourth, a to the first, right? If there's no exponent on it, that means it's to the first, m to the eighth, and this whole thing is being raised to the third power. So that's going to be r to the fourth raised to the third power. So we're going to multiply. A to the first raised to the third power, and m to the eighth raised to the third power. So that is r to the 4 times 3 is 12. A to the 1 times 3 is 3. And m to the 8 times 3 is 24. So 12, 3, and 24. My correct answer is B. Next example. So when we're dividing, it works a little bit differently. When I'm dividing on number 3, notice my denominator has what we just did, right? So I need to make sure I'm going to have 4 to the second power, a to the first to the second power, b cubed to the second power. So I'm going to write my numerator, 32, a cubed, b to the 8th, over, and then it's going to be 4 squared, a to the first, raised to the second power, and b to the third, raised to the second power. So that's going to give me 32, a cubed, b to the 8th, over 4 squared, 4 times 4 is 16. A to the 1 times 2 is a to the second. And b to the 3 times 2 is b to the 6th. So now I have to do this division. We're going to look at our numbers separately. So 32 over 16. 32 divided by 16 is 2. And then I'm going to look at my a values. I have 3 a's on top and 2 a's on the bottom. So when I divide 3 by the 2, 3 of these and 2 of these on the bottom are going to cancel out with 1 on the top, with 2 of them at the top. So that's going to leave me with just 1 a on top. 3 and 2. You subtract them, you're going to be left with 1. And then my b's, when I look at my b's, I've got 8 on top and 6 on the bottom, so the 6 on the bottom are going to cancel 6 of them up here on the top, so that's going to leave me with just 2 of them. So 2, a to the first, b to the second, is going to be D. Now if you notice with my answer choices, if I could do that division right here, after I square the 4, immediately I would have known that it had to be D because that's the only one that starts with the 2. Okay? But you had to make sure that you saw that you needed to square it. Okay, so number 4 is almost exactly like the one we just did on number 3. I'm going to start, my numerator is going to be exactly what it is. It's going to be 125 x to the fourth, y to the fifth. And then as I write this one down, I'm going to go ahead and do this square. 5 raised to the second power is 25. X raised to the second power is x squared. And y raised to the second power is y squared. Okay, so then I'm going to simplify. First, I'm going to look at my numbers. 125 divided by 25 is going to be 5. So now I know my answer has to be B. Okay, but we can look and see. If I look at my x's, I've got 4 on top and 2 on the bottom, so 2 of these are going to cancel out 2 of these, leaving me with just 2 left over. And then when I look at my y's, these 2 are going to cancel 2 here, leaving me with just 3 of them. 5x squared y to the third is the answer that we selected. Okay, let's look at number 5. So now here, this one's a little bit different. Notice I don't have a number outside my parentheses. So this is just saying multiply 12 times x squared times y to the fifth times z to the 0 times 4 times x to the third times y to the eighth times z to the fourth. The parentheses are just saying this is one expression, this is one expression, but really you're just multiplying everything. So what I like to do is first just take my numbers, and we're going to do the 12 times the 4. I'm just going to rewrite the order. And then times, now I'm going to look at my x's. I'm going to have x squared times x cubed. Then I'm going to look at my y's. I've got y to the fifth times y to the eighth. And then my z's. I have 0 z's times z to the fourth. Okay, so now I'm going to do my multiplication. 12 times 4 is 48. So now I can eliminate A and I can eliminate C. Now, if I have 2 x's being multiplied here to 3 x's being multiplied here, that's a total of how many x's being multiplied? 2 of them here, 3 of them here. There are 5 x's being multiplied. On my y's, I've got 5 here, and I've got, so let's see, x to the fifth. So far, so good. Y's, I've got 5 y's and 8 y's, so that's going to be 13 y's. So far, so good. So far, so good. And then my z's, I don't have any z's here, so really that's like 1 times z to the fourth, so I do have a z to the fourth. I don't have it here, so that means my answer has to be D. Okay, here's another one just like that. Let's see if we can do this one without reordering it. Look at what I did here. I did 2 plus 3 to get my 5. I did 5 plus 8 to get my 13. And I did 0 plus 4 to get my 4. So let's try that on this one. And then the numbers we multiplied together. So if I look at my numbers, 9 times 3, that's going to give me 27. So I can immediately go, okay, it's not B and it's not D. All right, now I'm going to look at my A's. I've got 5 A's here and 2 A's here, so that is 7 A's. So A to the 7th, A to the, oh, can't be this one, so my answer has to be A. But let's talk about how they get that B on the bottom, just to see. So if I have negative 12 B's here and I have 8 B's here, that's going to be negative 4 B's. And then my C's, I've got 3 here and 3 here, so that's 6 C's. So notice they have this 4 on the denominator, and here we show it's negative. When you see a negative, that means really it just needs to move to the other side of the fraction bar and become a positive. And that's how they get the B4 on the bottom, the B to the fourth power. Okay, let's look at number 6. Number 6, we're back to having the exponent on the parentheses. So remember, that means there are 3 of these. So it's A to the fourth, A to the fourth, A to the fourth, which is A to the 12th. There are 3 of these, right? B to the 7th, B to the 7th, B to the 7th is B to the 21st. And there's 3 of these. C to the 3rd, C to the 3rd, C to the 3rd is C to the 9th. So that's going to give me 12, 21, 9. A is my correct answer. Okay. Number 8. All right, on number 8, which expression is equivalent to? So again, I'm going to deal with that denominator first. So I'm going to do 24x to the 7th, y to the 4th, over 2, 3 times. So 2 times 2 times 2, right? 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is going to be 8. And then x 3 times. So x times x times x is x to the 3rd. And y 3 times. Y times y times y is y to the 3rd. So then we look at our 24 divided by 8, which is 3. So it can't be C and it can't be B. 7x is on top and 3x is on the bottom, meaning I'm going to be x to the 3 of them are going to cancel out, so there's going to be 4 left. Y to the 4th, y to the 3rd. I'm going to take these 3, cancel them with 3 up here, leaving me with just y to the 1st or just y. So the answer is A. All right, let's look at number 9. All right, for this last one, number 9, which expression is equivalent to 6, a to the 0, b to the negative 10, c to the 4th, 5, a to the 4th, b to the 2nd, c to the 3rd. So remember, first we're going to multiply our numbers together. 6 times 5 is 30. So I know it's not A and it's not C because it's got to have a 30. A to the 0 and a to the 4th. So I don't have any here and I have 4 of them here, which means I have 4 of them. Okay, b to the negative 10 and b to the 2, that means I'm going to have, if I have negative 10 of them here and I have 2 of them here, that means I'm going to have negative 8 of them when I combine them. I have 4 c's here and I have 3 c's here, so that is 7 c's. Remember, when you have that negative, that just means it's on the wrong side of the fraction bar. So right now we could think of this as over 1. So it's 30, not 3. Let me get an eraser. 30, a to the 4th, c to the 7th, over that b to the negative 8 is going to move to the bottom and become a positive 8. So a to the 4th, c to the 7th, my correct answer is B. All right, hopefully this helps you in your understanding with simplifying expressions with exponents. If you have any questions, please check in with your teacher and get any questions that you have answered. All right, there are some practice problems you can work on, and then there is one final evaluation that you can, practice quiz that you can take that will cover all of the topics that we have covered so far. Thanks for watching.